Okay, here we go. Sunday. Thank you all that have gathered here today to spread the good word. Spread the good word and talk about latest news, okay? So, what do I need to do first? I need to go to fucking YouTube and make sure this shit is getting monetized, huh? Here we go. Here we go. Isaiah, good morning. Good morning, Connor. Good morning, Blake, ex-hippie. Let me fix this shit here, and then we'll get serious. We will get serious. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What do we got? What do we got? Angel, good morning. Tom Green, love you too, bud. I love you too. Ex-hip, you got a chick coming over? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see what we got going today. You know what I'm curious about is what the fuck the stipulations are on having a church and getting exempt from taxes. Church stipulations. Let's check here. I don't know. Okay, I don't know why. Sorry, chat. Here we go. Oh, Zane, did that new countdown come out today? It must have just dropped. There we go. There we go. Church is defined. Okay, IRS.co. Distinct legal existence. The term church is found but not specifically defined in the Internal Revenue Code with exemption rules. Certain characteristics are generally attributed to churches. These attributes of a church have been developed by the IRS. Distinct legal existence. Okay, that's no problem. That's fucking no problem. We're gonna get to a bunch of topics today, guys. We're gonna talk about Jon Jones fight coming up. We're gonna talk about the matches last night. Felipe Pena, Nicky Rod. We're gonna talk about Firas Zahabi in the last live I was in. I have a lot of respect for Firas Zahabi, but he said he could beat up Dan Henderson if Dan Henderson wasn't on testosterone, and he was, and I very much disagree. But we'll go over that in a second. Let me share this here on my Instagram. Hey, Cole Bats. How you doing? Psychedelic Ward. There we go. Drinking coffee out of my Red Hawk mug this live. Excellent stream. Thank you very much for that. And then we'll get into some other shit. Some other shit that I think is important. Okay? Okay, the music I should add. Angelic choir, okay. I don't want to piss people off, all right? I don't. Okay. Now we're good. Let me see the defined shit of the churches, though, so then we can get tags. Recognized creed and form of worship. Okay, that's no issue. Definite and distinct ecclesiastical government. Fuck. I wish I knew what that word meant. Formal code of doctrine and discipline. Okay, that's easy. Distinct religious history. I've got some. Membership not associated with any other church or denomination or literature of its own. We have that. Established place of worship. We have that. Regular congregations. We have that every night. Regular religious services every night. Sunday schools for the religious instruction of the young. No problem. Open mat Sunday at the TWBJJ Academy. Schools for the preparation of its members. Yes, cardio kickboxing gym down the road. Preparation for the big gym, the big church. Okay. No, but for real, I was watching Firas Zahabi. Firas Zahabi is the coach of was the coach of GSP when he came up. But Frost is super like what do you call it? Academic. I mean, he's got all these degrees and stuff. He's good at jiu-jitsu. He's a very smart mind when it comes to MMA. But in this live right here, let's see if I can find it actually. I might be able to. He said he could fucking beat up Dan Henderson if Dan Henderson wasn't on testosterone and he was. I'm like, bro. Actually, first we'll look if Big Frost has had any MMA fights. And like I said, I like Frost. I have nothing to, I like him, but I don't think he's ever fought. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so there's a long thing on BJJ Heroes. Black belt under Jan Danaher. Leg locks. Running its end. Pierre Reed. Huh. So I wonder what his reasoning for never taking a fight was. Because for him to say, him to come out and say, I could beat up Dan Henderson if he wasn't on testosterone.
John, a lot of people are saying this. Guys, it's different. Gan's takedowns are different than Jon Jones. So the takedown defense is super easy. Look, has ever seen.
Let me see here.
And Ganu is an incredibly effective. His longer reach. Among the best of the best.
Well, I think this actually is just a cut.
Maybe. I think once in
from the actual live here. Yeah, this was the one, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it because it's such a long vid.
You're taking hormones. It's one of the side effects.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Pimples. Okay, acne. And there's a touch of it, and you see his abs popping out. Like these are like, look, this could be. I'm just saying I'm suspicious. I'm not saying I'm giving you a firm yes. This could be because he's training his entire life, so you can develop that type of body. You can. If you look at wrestlers, people who start wrestling at 5 years old when they're in their 20s, or look at gymnasts. Go see gymnasts, okay?
Well, I don't want to worry about it and watch the whole fucking video. But he says in here that he could beat Dan Henderson, fucking Hendo, who's, I'm pretty sure, a medalist in the Olympics at Greco. Not 100% sure on that, but a fucking animal. Everyone who I know who's trained with Dan Henderson said he's a tank. And Frost says, if I was on testosterone and Dan Henderson wasn't, he said he could beat him in a fight. And it's like, bro, you can't fucking just go off and say that shit. He's a very smart guy. Frost is a very smart guy. So she should be smart enough to not be able to say that. I mean, dude, you stand in the ring with Dan Hendo. If Dan Hendo's not on testosterone and you are geeked up on testosterone, Dan Henderson's probably knocking you out cold, brother. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for Frost, and he's a very smart dude. But when you say that and you've never even stepped in the ring or even stepped on the mat and had a competition, it's not near as hard to in your academy to go with your students or go with a fighter who comes in and do good because they're not really trying to hurt you, you're not trying to hurt them. But the emotions of a real fight, when that guy's goal is to hurt you and your goal is to hurt him, and there's a crowd, and there's all this shit. It's way different. So to say you could beat him in a fight if he was on testosterone, it's like, come on, brother. Jesus Jehoben. That's what I say. Okay, did any of you guys watch the Nicky Rod versus Pena match? I watched it, and it was fucking good, dude. Felipe Pena, he is so, for a big guy like that, to have a guard like he does, his fucking jiu-jitsu is so goddamn sick. A couple of those sequences, I'm trying to get to Instagram here so I can look at Gordon Ryan's post, but a couple of those sequences he hit when they're both so fucking sweaty. They're both just drenched in sweat, leaking of sweat. God damn it. The fuck am I not in Facebook? I just look on here, I guess. But 30-minute match, and Nicky Rod's an animal, and Gordon goes off and says this about Nicky Rod. Okay, so let's unload this. First, I believe that Pena had the best attack with the back take sequence, but Nicky Rod had more good attacks overall, although he clearly stalled. He pretty much goes on and says that Nicky Rod was It's a long ass one, but he goes on and he says that Nicky Rod was greasing. I've heard of people the night before a fight take a bath in baby oil, and it just soaks deep into your pores. So then you can dry off, but the next time you break a sweat, you just get so slick. So I think it is possible, but I don't think Nicky Rod was probably not greasing. I don't think he probably was. If any of you guys have been in the gym before, you see that some people sweat like a motherfucker. They have puddles of sweat, and they just start just sweating their fucking asses off. Like Jared Cannonier, the killer gorilla. Train with him in the room for a day, and you train for an hour, there'll be a puddle of sweat, and he'll just be drenched. So some people sweat more than others. To say Nicky Rod was greasing, I just don't think so. I mean, I guess it's fucking possible, but I don't think so. But dude, what a fucking match that was. That was fucking sweet. Okay, we got Jake Paul, Tommy Fury here in a couple hours. I did a little bet. For my bet was I put 100. I just put $100 on Jake Paul to win by decision, and then I threw 50 on there for him to finish him. But then my buddy Sono is trying to say how that's not going to happen just because of Tommy Fury and his name. The thing is, Tommy Fury probably has been boxing his whole life. He probably has. And he's a big fucking athletic, strong kid. And he's got, obviously, Tyson Fury's his brother and his dad. They lived in boxing. So he probably did have a really good training camp. And he probably is the best he's ever been. We'll see if it's good enough to beat Jake Paul. I mean, the thing about Jake Paul is I've seen him in moments, big pressure situations against Anderson Silva in a packed stadium, against Ben Askren in a packed stadium. I've seen him in these fights with a lot of pressure. Obviously, Ben Askren, you can't compare it, but the pressure in the big moment. And Tommy Fury probably hasn't had that much pressure in a big moment, because when you're fighting someone who's 0-20 or whatever, and you know whenever you give them a little bit of problems, you start cracking them, they can't hit you, you know they're going to fall eventually. Guys that are 1-30, guys in 2-40, you hit them once or twice and put the pressure on them, they're going to wilt. So going into a fight like that is going to be a lot less pressure. So this big fucking pressure moment under the lights, if Tommy Fury can show up, that's the question, because Jake Paul, we know he's probably going to show up. Out the door? Are you serious? Our dog is in heat and running away. Probably looking for some goddamn D. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, real mama. I think Jake Paul's going to beat him. I just don't know. But, dude, some of the I don't know if they're true either, but some of the... Do you want to do a yerba mate latte? Let's do it. They said the money that they're getting paid got leaked. And it said Jake Paul was going to make $25 million and Tommy Fury was going to make $7 million. No fucking wonder Tommy Fury didn't take the all or nothing. I mean, you got to be smart. You can't just be like, yeah, my ego, ugh, all or nothing. Like, no, this kid's good. It's not out of possibility that he could beat me. So I'm going to take my fucking $7 million. But, dude, if that could be a complete lie, too. But if that's the truth, that is insane, dude. Saudi Arabia, one of those princes out there must just have billions of dollars where they're like, no problem. 25 mil to Jake Paul, let's set it up. Fucking insane, dude. The White Mamba says, Timbo, is Suge preparing for Cejudo in case Sterling pulls out? And is he in full camp right now? White Mamba, there's really not a time where he's out of camp. I mean, camp, you just dial in the diet a little bit more and just a little bit strict with the workouts, but still working out once, twice a day. But yes, we're preparing for Henry. Dude, and watching Henry, and I know you can't tell that much from sparring, but watching Henry and Mighty Mouse, watching them peck around and spar, fuck, dude, there's a fucking good chance. I'm telling you guys, there's a good chance Sean KOs Peter or Henry. KOs him flat. The way he stands there orthodox like this, he's not very tall. And Sean is best against orthodox people that are pretty basic with their boxing. That's where his best is at. And especially against short little fuckers. And he sits there and floats his chin. Henry hasn't fought anyone as accurate as Sugar. TJ Dillashaw is not as accurate. Dominic Cruz is not as accurate. Mighty Mouse is 5'2". Suge's 6 foot and very accurate with his left hand and his right hand, and you don't know it's coming. He doesn't load up his shots. And yes, Henry's a fucking beast of a wrestler, but it would be different if he was a beast at jiu-jitsu and a good wrestler. That's a whole different story. But just being a good wrestler, I don't know. And people might think I'm crazy, but there's a fucking good chance that Sugar strangles Henry and puts him to sleep. Henry doesn't know any of Sugar's tricks on the ground. And if he cracks him and he starts forcing a wrestling entanglement, forcing it like panicked wrestling entanglement, he could get put to sleep. Tim, if you had to live outside the United States, where would you live? I haven't been to that many places. I mean, if I was a big baller and I'd go to Dubai. Dubai was fucking insane. Tijuana, Mexico, you could live there on a little bit of money and just be rich. That's where I've been. Canada, I lived in Canada for a year in Lethbridge, Alberta. I would not live there. I don't know. Canada's all right. Another country, but other than that, I haven't really been to any other countries, so I don't know. TJ Sheehan, do you corner any other fighters? Yes. There's a couple like UFC fighters who's asked me to train them, but I just don't have the time to focus and give another UFC fighter the time they need. I have too many students at my academy that I'm helping to get good, but I have a handful of amateurs. 2 of my amateurs fought last night. One got clipped. He was piecing up the kid, looking great, got hungry for a KO and got clipped. The other kid, Joe Perez, he's one of my up and coming. He's a good athlete. He's I think he played safety in college in football, and he did some karate when he was younger. He's a super good athlete, and he triangled this kid, and he's only a white belt, and the kid he fought was a purple belt, and he triangle choked him. So, yeah, I like to coach my guys that are at my academy, but I don't really want to start taking on training other UFC fighters. It just takes too much time. Let me see what your question is, Wakamogo. I missed it. Oh, X-Hippie says, do you think Tommy has been in there with someone that's going for it and can get the KO before? Just wonder if Tommy will crumble under the pressure. That's exactly what I said, X-Hip. Exactly what I said. I just don't know if that pressure is going to get to him. Jake Paul, in those pressure moments, I've seen him stay composed. And Anderson Silva, okay, yeah, he's 50 years old, but he's fucking big, first of all. He's a southpaw. And he pressured the fuck out of Jake. I was thinking about that last night. If you're an amateur and you have 0-0 fights, and you fight and your skills are really good. And you fight someone that is 5-0, 6-0, 4-1, 3-2, whatever. That 3-2 guy's got the experience, and the 3-2 guy's gonna know. He's gonna know how to kind of control his emotions, maybe, in there, and control the pace. You see a lot 0-0 guys that have never fought. They go in there and they have all this anxiety, and you can see the anxiety in the first round, and they come out and they're trying to empty their tanks, and their whole body's flexed, and in the open their whole body's flexed. 2-3 minutes later, they're gonna gas out. That's just like being human. And that's why people that's never been in a street fight or never been in a fight, and they think, man, I'm a good athlete, like I got a dog in me, I fucking see red. It's like, bro, you've obviously never gotten really fucking tired before. And I suggest you go into a jiu-jitsu academy or go into a boxing club or somewhere and go live and feel. And remember, that's just a small taste of what you're going to feel in an actual fight. That's just a small taste. You're going to get in an actual fight, and you're going to feel all the emotions, and you're going to feel all this, and you're going to get fucking fatigued. That's why I'm curious with Tommy Fury. Like, He's been in 5 professional fights. I don't know how many amateur fights he's had, but we'll see if he can stay composed. I think he might. I think he'll probably stay composed in the 4 rounds. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for the fight. I think 5 p.m. Eastern, they said, was when the main card starts. So I think that's 3 p.m. our time. So I'm going to go to open mat, do some no-gi rounds, and then maybe head over to Sugars. I think the Schmo Zone and Helen are going to be over there. So we'll probably maybe cook some burgers and watch the fight. I don't know. We'll see. I actually missed the UFC fights last night. Let's see the results. Because I had 2 of my guys fighting last night. Andrew Muniz subbed Brendan Allen subbed Andrew Muniz. Round 3. Damn. 30 seconds left and he put him out. Nice. Tatiana Suarez. Round 2 submission against Montana De La Rosa. Another. And then other than that, I don't know. That Jordan Levitt kid, he seems like a nice kid, but it's hard to believe he's got a wife. Super nice. I mean, seems like a super nice kid, and I guarantee I'd be friends with him. And nothing wrong with it, but he does seem a little bit flamboyant, and I don't know if it's autism or just kind of joking around, or that's just the way he is. I don't know. But he got it done, which is cool to see. You could see how pumped he was to get a KO. Matt says, Timbo, who do you think is the better puncher between Jake and Tommy? Like I said, it's going to be hard to say. I think Jake's going to be a little bit faster. I think Tommy's like big and bulky. He's got big, bulky shoulders and big, bulky arms, and that makes for slower punches. He doesn't look like he's like super fast twitch. I think Jake Paul might be a little bit quicker. But a little bit quicker. But the fuck do I know? We'll see. Do you think MMA can be fun to train if you train everything like normal simpy, no hard head sparring? Do you think MMA can be fun to train if you train everything like normal, simply no hard? Yeah, fuck yeah, it can be fun, Wilhelm, and that's what I recommend to most people. Of course it's fun. 5 p.m. Oh, UFC fighter. 5 p.m. is Jake and Tommy ring walk. 5 p.m. Eastern? Or what time zone? Who's harder fight for Suge, Cheeto or Aljo? Henry should be light work. Henry's definitely not going to be light work. He's still going to be an animal, but I don't think Henry, when he was 32, 30, like in that age area, I think that motherfucker would be a whole different animal. But I think 36-year-old Henry, 3 years off of retirement, training different. You got to train different because you're older now, not as hard, and then going against someone like Suge, who's 28, physically in his prime, ready to go for 5-round sprint. I don't think Henry's going to be near as tough. Ray Tim versus J-Rod in a rematch in combat jiu-jitsu. That would be fucking sweet. I would love that. Combat jiu-jitsu where you can just fucking drop some smacks would be sweet. Cheeto or Aljo? I think Aljo's a tougher match because I think Aljo's so fucking big, but I think his body's breaking down from these weight cuts. I think his body's fucking, he's just huge and he just kills himself to make the weight and still tries to train hard, not getting any calories in probably. I don't know if he's going to make it to the fight. I truly don't the more I think about it. But Aljo, if you make one mistake and let that motherfucker lock a body triangle up, you're probably going to be there the rest of the round. You make one initial mistake when he starts to wrestle and you don't have the right reaction right off the rip. Aljo's really good. Taquino Mendez, our professor, fought him, and our professor's super fucking strong. Big legs, won ADCC, won IBJJF Worlds multiple times, no gi and gi. One of the best grapplers to ever do it. He was even saying, he's like, Aljo's very strong and big. Cheeto, I think is an easier fight than Aljo, but I still don't think. I think Cheeto right now, with the confidence he has, he trains at a good gym, and he's just a fucking durable dude. I don't think he's near the athlete Sugar is, but he's just a beast. He does have good jiu-jitsu. He trains at a good gym, and he trains religiously, and I think his confidence right now is what makes him super dangerous. And we're going to see that fight. The Sugar Cheeto rematch is going to be very sweet. Sugar Cheeto rematch, 3 rounds sweet, 5 rounds even better. think Tommy has the power jab. Yeah, we'll see, though. We'll fucking see. Okay, Drew Coe says it's 5 p.m. East for main card start. Jake at like 3:30. I bet. 5 p.m. East? Okay. Dakota Campo. Dude, I'm not saying Henry's not a beast. I think he's a fucking beast. Obviously, he's a beast. He's an animal. But right now, the timing and the circumstances of him taking 3 years off. And I've been around Sugar and I've been around him sparring new guys and different. It's just different fighting him. It's not like an old Dominic Cruz. Rewatch the fight with Dominic Cruz and Henry. And Dominic Cruz is just like plotty, switching his stance, really slow and kind of telegraphing it. And it's easy for Henry to time those leg kicks. It's a whole different game. But I do agree. I think Henry's a fucking animal. He definitely is. Timbo, I'm a rookie stoner. What's the word on cannabis and muscle growth? Hurts and helps, NA? I don't know, dude. I wish I knew, but goddamn, I kind of want to take a break from weed. Sometimes when I smoke too much weed, even if it's good weed and from a bag, sometimes I wake up, I'm just a little bit not just like this morning. I didn't smoke weed for the past couple days, and I woke up and I'm just ready to fucking go. I'm ready to do my routine. I'm ready to work out. I'm ready to do my shit. Sometimes when I smoke my weed and I wake up and I'm just like, I can just chill and just be a fucking puss. Are you and Sugar going to be ready for the new wave of lanky stoner kids coming to 135? I think so. Toady, blessings, brother. I'm glad you popped in for Sunday service. Jon Jones, Serial, gone. I'm so excited for that fight just because, dude, how can you even debate that Jon Jones is not the baddest motherfucker ever? Let's just look at his record real quick again just to remind people who don't know. Like, yes, he hasn't fought for a long time. A lot of people probably barely even know who Jon Jones is, especially brand new people who started watching fighting during COVID. They're like, damn, this fighting shit's crazy. Let's find it real quick. Sorry, chat. It's the motherfucking day of rain. Okay, Dominic Reyes. Yeah, he went the decision with Dominic Reyes. Rumor has it he was partying, getting coked up, which fuck, dude. Which is crazy. Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, Gustafsson, KO'd Gustafsson. Beat Oven St. Preux. Okay, beat Dan Cormier. Beat Glover. Beat Gustafsson again. Beat Chael Sonnen. Beat Vitor Belfort. And I forgot. On the Vitor Belfort fight, was it TRT Vitor? I think it was, because Vitor, I remember, was fucking yoked. And Vitor caught him in that armbar. I remember I was in Portland watching this fight, and I thought he about snapped his arm, and then Jon Jones got out and then fucked him up. Key locked him. Rashad Evans, Lyoto Machida. Remember when Lyoto was the fucking man, too. Quentin Jackson. Everyone was scared of Quentin Jackson. Smoked him. Beat Shogun. Beat Ryan Bader. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to even debate. Just the people he's beat. But, dude, I'm just so curious to see how he moves and his cardio and his pacing after this long off and having an extra, 30 pounds of muscle? Or 40 pounds of muscle? How long it takes to get that muscle in shape? I don't know. I'm pumped to see it. Jon Jones is so good, though. His timing's so good. His eyes are so good. But again, Serial gone, dude. Serial gone. That fucker's athletic. And he punches people at the end of his fucking punches. And he's athletic and he's fast. Like, who's Serial fought me? Oh, thanks, babe. Cheers. Serial has fought Tai Tuivasa. Lost to Francis. Remember, that was the really, really boring fight. Both of them kind of scared to commit. TKO Derek Lewis. I remember that fight. I think we were at that fight. Volkov, tall as fuck. Junior Dos Santos. Yeah. Damn, next week, let's fucking go. And then we got Valentina Shevchenko against Alexa Grasso. Jeff Neal, Shavkat Ragmakam. That'll be a sick fight. Step up for Shavkat. And then Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. Goddamn. I think Jalen Turner was preparing for a striker, Dan Hooker, so he's probably striking a lot. And then short notice, couple weeks, now you got Mateus Gamrot. I think Gamrot takes him out. But Jalen Turner's long, tricky, never know. And then we got Bo Nickel. Fuck yeah. It'll be sweet to watch him go. Give it a rip again. You think so, real mama? Yeah, I think so too, Jarrells. I think he'll be in shape too. I'll have to give it around. Give it a little bit. I'll have to give it a go, Dakota Campo. I grow the best weed in California. Toti, Mariah's everyone's mom. Yes, she is. Funny how Cody talked trash to Suge, and now Suge is in the title picture, and Cody's fighting a 13-9 fighter. I hope Cody wins. I hope Cody can put a couple together, because I think the fight with him and Sean would do some good numbers, and I think it would lead to a hell of a KO. A clean KO. Just based on the styles, the shortness, the wide looping punches, the emotions. And Suge's very calm, long sniper. I mean, that's a KO in the making. My dogs, Ryan? Where are my dogs? My dogs are running around. My little dog's right here. We just took them on a morning walk. Yeah, Northern Neck. I don't know if that would have been good. I think the UFC kind of knew, like, goddamn, they like Cody. Cody's a big draw and he's a big name, but god damn it. They don't want to see him get KO'd again. Short little Dillashaw KO'd him flat. Imagine what Suge would do. It's next level. It's another level of striking. It really is. You guys saw it. You guys fucking saw it firsthand. You are Toady. You are my dogs. Awesome Hockey. You're the GOAT, brother. Thank you very much. Who is the toughest matchup for Suga, Merab, Aljo? Anyone who's just going to try to grab him and not fight. Anyone who's not going to just try to damage him and beat the fuck out of him is going to be a tough fight. Strong. I mean, Merab's a tough fight for Suge. Aljo's a tough fight for Suge. But I just don't think Aljo's going to last at 135 much longer, especially him getting older. And his tweet saying he doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep, and he's cutting that amount of weight, and he's trying to train. It's like, ugh. It's a recipe for a KO. Josh Fields, do you think Nicky Rod greases? We talked about it earlier, Josh. I don't think so. Some people just sweat a lot more than others. It's possible, but I don't think so. Probably not. Morning, Jody. Top 3 strikers in MMA right now would probably be Leah Topuria, Sugar Sean O'Malley, and then who's another top striker? Israel. Or Volk, too. Volk, fuck. So no, I'll bet. I'll fucking bet brows. We'll bet brows that I will fuck you up at Frisbee, Sono. Chat, it's a matter of time before I get Blake's brows off of him. It's a matter of time. He said he could outrun me in a mile. Hey, Johnny Flowin, this is a yerba mate tea with some frothed milk and some honey. Umar's a fucking tough motherfucker, too. Handsome, thank you for the dono. Thank you. This is for you, Handsome. I appreciate that. First dono of the chat. Thank you very much, brother. Lewis, hope you're good too, brother. Hope you're good too. Timbo, any thoughts on 1 meal a day diet? Northern Neck, I think that's good. I remember I was talking. We went to train with Randy Couture, and he was talking about that. He said he eats one meal a day at like 2 p.m. I think depending on how hard you're training, are you training twice a day? I think if you're training twice a day, you need to restore the glycogen in your muscles, and you need to fuel up for the next session. But I think if you're not training, really, and maybe depending on your age, I mean, one good nutritious meal a day probably wouldn't be bad. I'm not the expert in that area. Someone like Andy Galpin and Dan Garner, they're more the experts there. What we got here?
He's the brother of Tyson Fury and the family and
Oh, live stream, huh? Tim, will Usman regain the welterweight title this year? Artino, I don't know. That's a good question. Will Kamaru Usman retain the title? Fuck, dude. I think Usman might be getting a little bit older now. His body's a little bit beaten down. I think Leon Edwards, if I had to bet money, I think Leon Edwards might get the rematch. But, dude, Usman's a fucking stud. I would not be surprised if he came and won either. But getting older, your knees, and just you've been the champion for so long, you've went through so many training camps, it's a matter of time before your body starts deteriorating a little bit. Just is. GSB eat once a day as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's experts out there that talk about that. Thank you, Real Mama. Casey, I haven't cold plunged this morning. I haven't. I just woke up, got my coffee, got my red light, read a little bit, took my dogs on a walk, and now I'm going to go to open mat here in about 5-10 minutes. So, Trent, what up, Timbo? I stretch consistently and I foam roll. Have a massage gun. What should I add next to my recovery routine? Keep up the great pods. Keep dropping the knowledge. Foam roll and a massage gun? Check out the red light therapy. See if you can get yourself a nice red light therapy light. It's nice. Or some nice air filters or something. How like he beat... Does Usman hang it up if he loses? I think so. I mean, because who else is there really... I mean, if he loses, it's like, okay, so you get back in the pool and they get to fight a number 2, 3 guy, and then what's the point when you're probably really well off in money, very dominant champion, one of the best welterweights to ever live. I would hope someone would advise him and just say, man, dude, you got another life after fighting. You got a full another life after fighting. It's just pointless to just kill yourself. Have you ever had an upper body injury, shoulder, chest surgery? If so, how long did you wait to start training in? J Money, yeah, I got some shit going on. Some bullshit going on. What up, Ben 10? I use a Mito red light. MITO REDLIGHT. That's what. So, the Al Budman, thanks for popping into the live. I don't know if we're doing a Timbo Sugar show today. I think we might, after the Tommy Fury Jake Paul fight. Schmo and Helen are in town, so I think we might rip to the studio after that and just bust out a pod. What do you think the most non-replaceable important part of your morning routine? Probably busting. Heavy bust. Morning, Nick. What do you go this? We call it Stein Head, Northern Neck. Stein Head. So, all right, chat. Thanks for watching. Some beautiful church this morning. I'm gonna head and get some training in, and then have a good Sunday and get ready for the week. Some good training. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It helps out. We're almost to 40,000. We're growing quick. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep up the content for you guys. I enjoy doing it also. All right, have a good weekend, guys. Matthew, peace out. Real Mama. Sunday busts are the best. That's the truth. Yep. Peace out, Lewis. See you, Kyle. Drell's peace. Northern Neck. Bye-bye. Love y'all. Peace.